How's it going, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of Schoedown Central. Going to be breaking down everything that happened this week in the Schmoedown, and let's just get into it and let's recap some of these matches. Starting off this week with the team matchup on Tuesday, which saw Top 10 versus Top That. Matt Knost and John Rocha try to get that number 1 contender shot yet again against the Patriots, while Top That trying to go for their first ever title shot. Round 1 saw two strong showings from both teams, but Top 10 was the clear winner in round 1, both going 8 for 8 in round 1, a first time both team members have scored a perfect round, which is pretty much unheard of, and then they top it all off by hitting their 9-point question, both getting that extra point, and just skyrocketing to an 18-point first round. Not to take anything away from Top That's 13 points, with coming from 7 points from Jim and 6 from Eric. Is still not a bad showing, but just Top 10 played their A game in round 1. Coming into round 2, Top 10 spins opponent's choice, normally a bad move on their part, but Top That ends up picking biopics, one of the strengths of the Outlaw, but Matt Knost actually coming to play in this round, knowing a lot of the questions in this biopics category and answering quite a bit of them to get 10 out of a possible 12 points in round 2 and not missing a single question. Top That, now down by a wide margin, needs to get something they like. They end up spinning comic book movies, of course a big strength of Eric Goldman. They get all their questions right, getting again another 10 out of 12 points, the same as Top 10. So that was really good for Top That in order to stay in the game and still make this thing competitive. Round 3 was really back and forth. Of course, Jim ended up missing the 3-pointer, but then they come together and get Sandra Bullock on their 5-pointer, both hitting that, forcing Top 10 to make some moves. Of course, John Rocha hits the rom-coms, Matt Knost misses on crime, but then they come together and Matt Knost pulls out the victory by getting the Pixar question about Inside Out, a tough 5-point question, just showing one of Matt Knost's big strength and one of the key moments in this game, getting that win, and now they get a shot at the Patriots. So Top 10 ends up winning this 35-30, one of the highest scoring matches I think we've ever seen in the team league. Of course, Top 10 going 26 out of 27 for a 96% accuracy. Top That going 21 for 25 for an 84% accuracy. Normally that 84% would probably get you the victory, but they came across a Top 10 team that was not missing questions. Matt goes 9 for 10 for 90% individually. John going 10 for 10 individually. Great match, but again, who played the better game? It's hard to say. Again, a big team effort from Top 10. As for Top That, Jim goes 7 for 9 individually for 78%, and same with Eric for 78%. So what does this all mean going forward? Of course, Top 10 is going to get that shot at the Patriots their third time. Might be their final time if they don't get this win, but if they get this win, look for them to hold them to the titles for as long as they can. I know they've been wanting these team titles back for quite some time. Can they do it? We'll have to wait and see. As for Top That, we'll see how their future holds in the team league. 30 points. I'm sure they will get another match very shortly. As for Jim Vejvoda, he says he might want to put his name in the ring for the singles competition. We'll have to see if that comes to fruition. But until then, let's get on to our next match. Our Friday match saw the Professor Lon Harris go up against the Web Slinger Cody Hall. Lon Harris coming in with a record of 1-0, one win against Mark Bernard, and Cody Hall coming in with a record of 0-1, facing Christian Harloff way back in the inaugural Movie Trivia Schmoedown tournament. Has not played since then, so we'll have to see how he does in this match. Round 1 saw both competitors going back and forth, going one apiece up to 5 points, and that's when Cody Hall took off out of nowhere and ended up getting a perfect round, going 8 for 8 on all of his questions. The crowd was into it, everyone was into it, everyone was just shocked and surprised, and Cody Hall even hitting his extra bonus point. It seemed that Josh McCouga's luck may have rubbed off on Cody Hall on his guessing game after doing some of those fantasy updates earlier on last season. Round 2 is where things started to change as Cody Hall ended up spinning opponent's choice, and of course the Professor Lon Harris, wanting to educate Cody, gave him classics. Out of this round, Cody got a total of 1 point, went 1 for 4, and Lon ended up stealing 1 point from Cody in this round. As for Lon's spin in round 2, he ends up spinning family films, still not a big strength of Lon, but ends up going 3 for 4, total of 4 out of an 8 possible points in this round. This set the stage for a really intense round 3 at both competitors tied at 10. It was a back and forth battle in round 3 with Cody getting war films and getting that correct. Lon getting horror thriller, getting that correct. Cody spinning a strength of his in comic book movies and getting that correct. Lon getting Angelina Jolie and getting that correct. But none of them could hit their 5-pointers in Oscars and 1980s movies, so that wound up making for overtime. And the first question in overtime, Cody could not come up with a question, being a musical type question. Lon ended up getting that question correctly, and Lon is your winner. So Lon ends up winning it with a score of 16-50 in a really close matchup. Lon now improves his record to 2-0, hitting 11 of the 16 questions he was personally asked for a total of 69%, and achieving 1 steal. Cody Hall drops to 0-2, getting 12 of 17 questions he was asked correctly, and making for a much closer matchup than we all thought. So what does this mean going forward? Of course, Lon Harris ends up challenging Cobster and kind of forming this faction of his with his students and his acolytes, with Cody Hall actually joining that faction. We'll see how that plays out going forward in the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. As for next week on the Movie Trivia Schmoedown, we got a lot of matches coming up. Starting off on Tuesday with the Inner Geekdom Fatal 5-Way match, a couple of first-time competitors in this one as well. We have Adam Hlavik, Coy Jandro, Mike Carlson, Mark Donica, and Keaton Marchi. Great competitors, a couple again first-timers there, aside from Adam Hlavik, who competed in the teams, and Coy Jandro, who has competed in the Inner Geekdom before, and the Free-For-All. On February 15th, we have the celebrity match, the Ash vs. Evil Dead matchup. Of course, Whitney Seibold will be teaming up with one of the cast members, and John Snepp will be teaming up with another. We'll see how this plays out. My money's probably on Whitney's team just because John Snepp has shown some strength in the Schmoedown, but also has shown that he can kind of freeze under the lights. So we'll have to see how that matchup ends up. As for on Friday, we got 2 first-timers going up in this matchup. We got Dorian Parks versus, and I apologize if I butchered this name, Demi Ajayigbe. And for the main event, we have Jeff Snyder going up against Baby Carrots himself, Mark Ellis. That will be a great matchup. It'll be a close matchup, and I think Mark Ellis will probably come out on top. As for our play of the match, that's going to go back to the team matchup, where Matt Knows has to hit his 5-point question, gets the inside-out question, and ends up pulling up the correct answer to get the win. Big play from Matt Knows in getting the win for Top 10 and leading their way to face the Patriots next. As for our misplay of the week, it's going to be again from the team match, where Top That ends up picking biopics for Top 10's opponent's choice category. One of the big mistakes, they could have got a bigger lead and ended up maybe getting the win had they not done this. Picking a category maybe like coming of age would have been their best strategy, as they mentioned in the post-game interview. A big misplay on Top That's part. And as for our player of the week, that will go to Matt Knows. He did miss a question, Rocha didn't, but the questions that Matt Knows got right, he knew with confidence, and even in that second round, answering a lot of those biopic type questions as well. And of course, the picks are in round 3. Of course, I put out a poll on Twitter, and Matt Knows ended up winning that poll with 49% to Rocha's 46%, to Jim Vejvoda's 5%. Again, close matchup in the polls. Matt Knows getting the victory there and getting the victory here on Schoedown Central. So that does it for episode 2 of Schoedown Central. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe to everything. Follow me on Twitter at SchmoedownCent or my personal Twitter at 94BradThomas. You can check out all my stuff there and what's going on in the world of the Schmoedown. Also, let me know what matches you're looking forward to next week on the Schmoedown. Going to be a big episode next week. Lots of matches happening. So let me know your thoughts there. That is all, and I will talk to you all next week on Schoedown Central.